show, Brookfield Public Advocate. I'm your host, Bruce Senek. Tonight's show marks the beginning of our second year on Charter Channel 21. And I'd like to extend my gratitude to my behind-the-scenes crew, because without their help, we'd not be able to bring you our show on Brookfield's Public Affairs. And a special shout out as well to Greg here at Charter for all his help in making it a success. And tonight we have another common interest story. It's a follow-up actually to a show we produced 1 month ago. For our viewers who tuned in to our show with Peter Brady and his handy dandy handyman ministry, we learned about its origins and how he started out 13 years ago. Since we ran out of time at that point, Peter has generously returned to discuss some of its missions, replete with before and after shots of clients that have been blessed to have his help. For those in our audience who were not able to view the first show about Handy Dandy Handyman Ministry, we refer you to segments up on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Brookfield Public Advo, and you can also find it by going to Google at Brookfield Public Advocate. There you'll discover one of Brookfield's true treasures and a shining example of what volunteerism is all about. And you can also learn a little bit about Peter's background. Peter, thanks again for coming and welcome back to our show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Peter, when you were here last, you told us about the origin of Handy Dandy Handyman Ministry, and we learned of some early missions. For tonight's show, I understand that you have some slides and a few examples of people whose lives that have been changed due to, and I'm going to abbreviate, HDHM's efforts. Could you, we're going to put some slides up on the screen now, and I'd like you to talk to our viewers about one of your first missions, and I believe it was a project in New Milford.
Well, we're going to do Rake and Bake first.
Okay. We'll do Rake and Bake first.
So anyway, Rake and Bake is a program we started several years ago before we even became Handy Dandy Handyman. And in 2007, after our Rake and Bake program in November, the latter part of November, we were addressed by one of our clients, our volunteers, to see if we can help her sister up in New Milford. So I went up to New Milford, and we couldn't really do the Rake and Bake program because it was too late in the season, but we would come back and do some other things for this client. So in the Rake and Bake program, we have not only the group of, if you can put the slide up for the group of rakers, we have 1,000 volunteers who help us with the raking of lawns. And in that, I guess the slide isn't up, but the raking. Here we go. Okay, so there's our 1,000 volunteers, and these folks put in a lot of time and effort, and it goes from age 2 to 82 as far as the volunteers. So it's a large group. But in addition to that, we have over 400, 500 children, kids, high school kids and the younger kids. And that would be the next slide that you'll see. You'll see some children out doing a particular lawn. And it's a fun thing because we just have fun doing work for others. In addition to that, when I went up to that New Milford job, I said, we come back here, we'll break some leaves, but we'll do other things. So I started what was my first home makeover in the spring of 2008, and it was in New Milford. It was a red house, if you can show that slide. It was a red house. And this was a house you could hardly see from the street. As you can look at the photograph now, there's little reds peeping through there, but there were huge trees. The roof needed a repair, and the house needed some painting, and the interior needed some whole facelift. So what we did was we got together and we got a roofer company to help us, and he volunteered his services. So we put a new roof on, new gutters. We scraped the entire house. We replaced all the rotted wood on the house, and we painted it. And we also did the inside of the house. We painted it and spruced it up, gave her some new appliances. And the second slide is the after picture. That's the before picture. We couldn't even see it. Now this is the after picture. We took down some trees. We ended up putting a new driveway in because that wasn't good. We put a whole new lawn in from scratch. We built a wall there, you can see. And also we put a new garage door and a double door. And this is a woman who has been working 5 jobs. She's got 2 children, teenage children, and she's divorced. And so she's doing very well now. It's been a couple of years, and she's been fine. So we're very happy with that, and we had about 100 volunteers help us with this particular project,
Wow.
some of whom were contractors.
Yeah. May I ask how long that makeover would take?
That took 3 months. This particular one, 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah. Because they were living in the house, so we had to adjust to their schedule as well to go in there, and we did some major construction inside the house. So normally, the next couple you'll see at some point here, I'm going to tell you where we put the clients during the process, because we learned a lot from the fact that the family was living there at the same time, and had to sleep there and use the facilities. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, when you say 3 months, again, I appreciate obviously that the occupants, the homeowners still live there. Was that on weekends only, or was that some weekdays, or combination?
Some during the day, combination. We couldn't go 3 days. We'd come back for the next 2 days, that kind of thing. So it was on and off. So it was my first shot at a home makeover. I had no experience in this, and nor did most of the people who helped me. So I was kind of going from the seat of my pants, I guess. And I didn't plan it too well, but the results turned out fine.
Yeah, I must say.
So
that was New Milford. Now,
right.
I understand that you brought along another couple of projects that you've completed.
Right.
I believe that the second one we're going to be showing the folks is a home in Brookfield.
Correct.
So if we could put up the slide for Brookfield.
Okay, this first slide shows the house before. And what we did here is I met with the client, and I met with her parents. She's a single mom with 2 children, ages 12 to 14, and she's been living there for quite some time. And the roof was leaking in closets and in bedrooms, and the place was just kind of disheveled, to say the least. She also had a problem of keeping things too long, and she was somewhat of a hoarder, I guess you could say. And so we said, if we're going to do something here, you've got to change your habits, because we don't want to just do this and have this thing fall apart again.
Right.
So what we did, we set out to do the new roof. We did the new gutters. We put a new deck on the back. We put new windows, 15 windows. This was in January of 2008, or 9, I guess it was. And we put 15 new windows in the last part of January, with the carpenter's help, of course. And we revamped the basement. We took a lot of things out. We had about 4 dumpsters we had to take out of her place. We ended up doing a new lawn. And this is the after picture. We ended up doing a new lawn. We put shutters on. We had new shrubs put around the house. And we put a new driveway in as well. Several other things. We bought us some new furniture. We furnished the entire house, I should tell you that. We took out all the furniture, put a chainsaw to it, and tossed it because it wasn't in great shape. And we replaced all the furniture either with new or good used furniture. And it was a tremendous thing. And after we do something like this, we usually have this is the after picture of the kitchen. I didn't see the before picture, but it must have been up there. That's so there's the before picture. And we gutted that kitchen down to the studs. We did everything new refrigerator, new stove. And so if you go to the after picture, we will see that. So that's the results of the same kitchen, but everything's new. New sink and new cabinets. We had a cabinet guy help us with that. New stove, new chair and tables, and new lighting, and all the electricity was brought up to code. So we had a new floor. So this is all done because we get donations from various folks throughout the community, and that helped us foot the bill. In addition to that, we have contractors who help us. Now, what we did in this particular makeover is not only did we do the house, but we thanked those contractors who have helped us over this particular project. And we had a big party celebration after, but we put these signs out so the neighbors, we include the neighbors in these so they can see exactly what's going on, because we have cars and trucks all over the place, so we don't want to disturb the neighbors. So we tell them we're going to do this, and they come out for a party. We have a party at the end of each of our makeovers, and so they come out and we celebrate. We have a barbecue. We had over 150 people come. David Scribner came and said a few words, and our pastor comes and he says a few words. So we really go pretty crazy with the parties after, because it's a great celebration.
That's terrific.
So we're pretty happy about that particular one.
And of course, it doesn't hurt to let people know that passed the house who donated their work, and maybe if they like the work that they see, they can use these contractors at their homes.
Absolutely.
I think that's terrific.
Yes, indeed.
So that is the second home in Brookfield. Now, I believe that you have another home that you did, and I believe that was that in Bethel?
That was in Bethel, right.
Okay.
Before the slides come up, let me just tell you a little bit about that. This
Sure.
gentleman lived there for 60 years. The house was given to him by his parents. He lived there alone 15 years. He collects grocery carts at the local store. And the Board of Health of Bethel had called me because he was close to having it just boarded up because it just wasn't a good situation where he lived. And he never told anyone about it. And in February of 2009, I think it was, 2010 I guess it was, he got flooded out in his basement and he had no heat. The furnace went down, he had no washer dryer, so he was just there. And this was in January, February. So we were called in to see if we could help him. And as a result of that, I said, okay, only if he agrees to accept the help. So we went and visited. I went to visit with him, and I took him out to lunch along with the Board of Health person, and he agreed to accept the help because he's never accepted it before. So other people have asked him for the help to help, and they said no. So anyway, we convinced him, and I said we can do a good job, but I've got to get you out of the house. I've got to put you in a motel for 1 month.
Wow.
I'm going to do this on an accelerated program because it's winter and the contractors want to get to do their regular job because they donate all their time. So I moved into we paid for it, and we moved him up to a Brookfield motel. And let me show you some pictures of this house, mostly in the interior because the exterior was also good. So this was his original bedroom. He's been in it for so many years. His dad actually was in it, and this bed was pretty bad. He had a lot of things in the house that he kept. He was basically a hoarder, and so we said we would help him out. So we took that bedroom and changed it into the next slide, which would be the finished product. That's that particular bedroom. So that's a tremendous difference. We painted everything. We fixed the windows. We got him all that new furniture. We put the carpets down in each of the rooms. We did some work in the kitchen, but this is one of the bedrooms. He had, it's a 3-bedroom house, and we did the same thing for the other 3 bedrooms. And all the donations came in, tremendous donations, because they all knew this gentleman from the shopping center. So we were able to buy a lot of things, and we also got some used items. So the next picture going up will be the kitchen. Now this was the kitchen that he lived in, and a few cabinets were really destroyed. And it wasn't very healthy. It was the aroma in the house was not very lucrative, very conducive to eating. But that's where he did all that dining, and it was a tough scene. So we had our work cut out. We were first going to just paint the cabinets because that was the easy way out for us. So we said no, let's gut the whole thing. So we gutted the kitchen, we gutted the 2 bathrooms. We worked on every particular room. So if you show the after picture of the same kitchen, same position. So that's the final shot of the kitchen that he now really loves. He's starting to cook now, and we've had some volunteers go in there and show him how to cook and show him how to shop for different food items. And that table you see there, that was donated as well. So he's got everything he needs, and I check in with him every couple of weeks to make sure everything's good. And he's really doing very, very well, and he tells everyone in the shopping center all the things that we did for him. But moreover, he's so proud of what happened, and now he's giving back. He's helping us. He's volunteering. Really? And he's making some donations. He's on his limited income.
That is fantastic.